Hello, everybody. Good morning, evening, or good night, or evening, afternoon, whatever the three sections of the day are. Doug Given here, Pastor Doug at St. Andrew's Lutheran in Speedway and Faith in Avon for a midweek moment, a few minutes to encourage us along in the faith. And it may just be that you are catching this earlier in the week rather than later, and that's okay because it don't really matter. But I'm wanting to just today's topic for this week is just a very brief review of the past 3 weeks for me in regard to the pain rehab clinic that I've been a part of. I sent a letter to every member family at both churches. Probably some of you who are watching on Facebook are not in town here or whatever. May not be aware, but I had, long story short, I had a procedure back in November that left my left leg numb. The nerves have not returned. I don't have feeling down yonder and neuropathy and so forth. And pain related to all that. And that's been going on since November. So I attended over the last 3 weeks a chronic pain program. Was not designed to take away the pain or get me off the cane, as some have mistakenly thought. It was to equip me. Perhaps another way to look at it is to fill my toolbox in ways to cope with chronic pain and live a healthier, more robust life, let's say. And so I believe that's what happened. I attended both councils at both churches voted to uh, allow me to go without having to record vacation days or whatever. It was a blessing from both churches at a joint council meeting back in May. They said, yes, please go if you could go. I got accepted into the program. You had to go through some interviews and meet the neurologist, a pain psychologist, and a therapist, physical therapist. I did all of that. They saw my chronic pain and brought me in onto the program. Insurance paid for it, and it was a blessing. And I was there with 5 other people, all with various chronic pain in various age ranges and male, female. Everybody was there. We were meeting at IU hospital downtown, IU Methodist in the professional building in the basement. So we were at IU Methodist for the pain rehab clinic. It ran from roughly 9 to 3, sometimes 9 to 4, every weekday. Started on June 9th and it ended this past Friday the 27th. June 9th, a Monday, to the 27th, this past Friday, Monday through Friday, roughly 9 to 3. We had a variety of programs. There was, of course, like yoga and physical therapy, occupational therapy. We heard from a social worker. We experienced somebody, one of the chaplains did a spiritual care presentation around our values. That was really informative. We looked at how pain worked and studied the mind and the brain's role in how pain works and is brought forward into the body in various ways and so forth, all through a neurologist. There's a thing called positive coping, as we look at ways of coping with our chronic pain in more positive ways, changing our thoughts. Sometimes, in my experience, when you've got chronic pain, all you do is think about that a lot during the day. You wake up feeling that pain and it occupies your thoughts. And they're shifting us into being aware that there are other ways for our brains to go, other things to think about, other ideas to bring in. And that way we don't have to get so focused on the chronic pain. That's all that we think about. So we had a food, nutrition, and pain program one day that was very good. These were all presented to us in a PowerPoint presentation, and then we were given all of the slides. So what they've done is sent us home equipped with a binder full of all of these slides so that we can review this in our toolbox. One of the, I think I could say that, 2025 Pain Rehab program. The therapist said if we would just move every day, and read through our binder, we'll be in good shape in our follow-up to this program. So we are doing that as best I can, and this has only been the first week of it. So the Pain Rehab program, as I said, went through a variety of topics. Probably each day we had a combination of presentations in the main room that we met in. Then we would go to therapy. There was an hour that was free each day for us to practice our physical therapy moves, go over the material that we've gotten, do some rehab or whatever we wanted to do. And there was an hour allowed for lunch every day, of course. And then each week, once a week, we met with a therapist, a behavioral therapist, like a counselor who's qualified to work with people in and with chronic pain. So I was just saying there's been a whole variety of these programs. We did one class on biofeedback, which was very interesting. Biofeedback. We did another one on uh, acupuncture, and that was probably one of the highlights for me. The pain psychologist, she's got a doctorate. The doctor presented the program around and the idea of acupuncture and how it works, and then came and went to each of us and gave us an experience of the acupuncture. She put 5, 6, 7 needles into the ear in various places, which triggers all kinds of things throughout the body. I guess in acupuncture system, there are access points through the ear, if you didn't know that. And we got relaxed, our pain was reduced. One of the women in the class fell asleep and really couldn't even stay awake for the next presentation after acupuncture. So it was a thrilling program overall, but specifically in these areas, because it gave us and gave me concrete things I can take forward and maybe consider using. So I'll have to find a place that does acupuncture. We all have follow-up appointments with the pain psychology department, the neurologist, and the therapies to follow up in the next couple of months as a way to check in and continue to do the work that we're doing. It never was a cure-all. It was never a plan, like any kind of rehab process or procedure. You're not going to cure it. It's helping me go through it. So I got a whole toolbox of materials to go through. I got the slides to review. I've got biofeedback appointment that I'm going to have. I'm going to look for acupuncture. But really, it just made me feel a lot more confident about myself in relation to having this chronic pain, to know that other people are going through it as we're in the class that have pain as well. We were affirmed. They never tried to make us think we didn't have pain or we were making it up or anything along those lines. From the very beginning, they said, your pain is your pain, and we honor you right where you are. And then they began to teach us on ways that we could look at it differently through learning how the brain works with the neurologist. And then we, could experience that when we did yoga and therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, all kinds of things along the way to help us grow in the ways in which we learned and knew about our chronic pain. So I have a toolbox of places and things I can use and stuff I can do for my chronic pain management. I think God has provided us a wonderful toolbox, if you will, in our daily living in the spiritual realm. Here's our little toolbox from God, our little Bible that tells us that God loves us and that God is love. And so here's an example of that spiritual toolbox God has given us. And I thank you for listening in. I just wanted to give an overview of my chronic pain program with deep, deep thanksgiving for the congregation's blessing from both of them, both churches, the blessing to go and take part in this, because it meant a lot to me and it was good for me, and I've learned a lot, and I will be applying that as I go forward. Please keep me in your prayers as we go. And I pray that all have a blessed July 4th this week, and church is as normal on Sunday the 6th. And we'll see you then. God be with you till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again. Till we